What Vegan does is we do a lot of vegan outreach and advocacy, and we have an international presence. And I founded this when I was 16. I'm currently studying in 12th grade, so I'm 17 now. So I'll just get into the topic right away. So what is veganism? Veganism is a lifestyle. Can I just walk? Thank you. So veganism is a lifestyle that does not involve usage of animal products. People assume that veganism is a diet. It's much more. So vegans do not consume meat, milk, leather, silk, wool, fur, honey, whatever animal product there is, we don't use it. So I mean, why would anyone do that? There are a lot of tasty ice creams out there. I wouldn't simply give up animal products for no reason. So I'm going to be dwelling into the reasons as to why veganism heals the world and why non-veganism harms it. So why? So for the planet. So I'm going to be starting from the environmental angle. So I believe all of us are concerned about the environment at some level, and we all want to do something good for the planet. So what better way to start with? So animal products cause more greenhouse gas emissions than all transport combined. So World Watch estimates that 51% of greenhouse gas emissions is related to animal products, 28% is transport. Transport including bus, cars, lorries, planes, ships, whatever. All the transport combined, animal products cause more than 50% of the greenhouse gas emissions. So let's just say the world went vegan overnight. We wouldn't have half the greenhouse gas emissions that we have right now. And you know how much problems that's causing, global warming, then the ice caps melting and whatnot. So we could actually cut out half the problem by just eliminating these animal products from our diet. Every 2.3 seconds, a human child dies of starvation. Let's get that in. Before I finish this sentence, about 3 children would have died. Horrific. So why? Of starvation. So we have plenty of food for all of us. Why are these children not getting any food? So in nations such as these, say Africa for that matter, it's a continent, sorry, African countries. So what happens is that the grain which is produced is not fed to the children, it is rather exported for the livestock industries in other countries. So the food that the children is supposed to get, and there is plenty, believe me, it's all going to the animals. So 70% of the world's grain is consumed by animals. Raised for meat, milk, etc., eggs, that matter. So these children are deprived of the food. Where do you get profits by feeding these poor children? You get profit by feeding it to livestock, raising them, fattening them, and then finally killing them for our desires. So livestock consume 80% of the world's available water supply. Our world is messed up already. There is not enough water. I mean, you see so many places with a lot of drought and people don't have any water. 80% of this is going to livestock raised for animal products. So here's an interesting statistic. So if you're a vegan and you switched on your shower 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you would still have consumed less water than a non-vegan would have who did not switch on that shower. So a vegan on a Humvee pollutes less than a non-vegan on a bicycle. These are statistics. It's even the United Nations organization promotes these statistics, and it's pretty well known actually. The World Watch is an organization that does a lot of research into this, and it's these. I'm not quoting myths. I'm quoting statistics and facts. So cows pollute as much as cars. So, cows burp and their flatulence has a lot of methane. So, and methane causes like a lot more, contributes a lot more to global warming than the same amount carbon dioxide does. So, usually cars and all transport, they usually release carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide and other hydrocarbons. What cows do is they release methane. So, this methane contributes a lot more to global warming than cars do. So that is something huge. So all of this combined, like I said, causes more than 51% of the greenhouse gas emissions. Another few statistics. So if you're a non-vegan, say, and your lifestyle was decided by given amount of land. Say how much you would require to sustain for your whole life. So that comes to 16 acres per non-vegan. So a non-vegan would require 16 acres of land for everything, like food for your entire lifetime. You know how much a vegan requires? 0.5. So ratio will be what? 16 is to 0.5, that will be 32 is to 1. So non-vegan requires 32 times the land area a vegan requires to sustain his or her lifestyle very comfortably. And that is something huge. We could save our planet by a great deal only by eliminating animal products. This is not discussed very frequently because giving up something is not something we'd like to do. But the practical solution here is that veganism is a necessity now. Next slide. So you can probably YouTube this link. The United Nations organization produced a report called the Livestock's Long Shadow, where they discuss everything in detail as to how animal agriculture actually contributes to a lot of environmental issues and social justice issues and whatnot. So the next slide should have been about health, and it's probably coming on at the right time. So just wait for it. So how many of you are vegan here? That's awesome. So again, I'm outnumbered, I guess. So yeah, getting pretty used to it. So how many of you heard of veganism from any other source? So was it from Buddha, or have you heard of it from someone else? That's very nice.
What about big business? How do they accept this concept? Why do they accept this concept?
So, a lot more people are becoming health conscious nowadays. They want healthier foods, they want healthier products, they want healthier alternatives. So, businesses will actually flourish because of this new market. So, we are all probably going a lot less to eat out nowadays because of the unhealth factor of it. So, there are new businesses coming up that specifically focus on health aspects or maybe ethical aspects for that matter, and that all contributes to giving you a new market for these products. Yeah, 10,000 species go extinct every year. So you know what extinct means? There won't be any other type of that species of that group ever again. So why do these 10,000 species of plants and animals go extinct? So animal agriculture requires that the animals be fed, right? So you feed them fodder, you feed them grains, and you feed them all sorts of antibiotics and stuff. So to grow these fodder and grains, you actually cut down forests because the demand is a lot. So you just cut down forests at a very rapid rate, which results in loss of habitat for some creatures, which is why 10,000 species go extinct every year. No forest in 50 years. That looks like a lot like our lungs, doesn't it? So, that shows deforestation, which what this image is trying to convey is that without a forest, we don't have lungs to breathe. Our available amount of oxygen, whatever these forests contribute, is nullified. Yeah, for yourself, I'm going to be talking about the health aspect now. Mr. D'Souza spoke about it. I will be touching upon it with a bit of detail. So yeah, eating animal products severely increases your risk of obesity. So this is pretty plain because milk has 3 times the amount of fat and twice the amount of protein that human milk has, and humans are the only species that consume the milk of another species. Pigs don't consume dog's milk, and dogs don't consume camel's milk. Similarly, what we humans are meant to consume is not what we're doing. Hence, twice the amount of protein, thrice the amount of fat, all that adds up, and that leads to obesity, heart disease. Animal products, plant products do not have any amount of cholesterol. Cholesterol is produced in the liver, and plants do not have livers. So we do not get any amount of cholesterol from plant-based sources. We have enough cholesterol already. Our liver produces enough quantities required to sustain us. However, excess amount of cholesterol causes atherosclerosis and so many other heart-related diseases, plus a lot more. Diabetes, so diabetes is another, say, all these may be interlinked at some level, but there is a lot of stat as to how this actually prevents the system from digesting things properly, so which is also a leading contributor to diabetes. I want to quote this fact that there is a project called the Cancer Project, which decides, which basically tries to eliminate cancer and stuff. So what they have decided is that food is the main contributing factor to cancer. Nothing else. Tobacco comes lesser than food. So what we eat is a very, very essential factor of how we function. And by eating the wrong things, our body is going to get damaged. Say, you can't put petrol in a diesel engine. It's just going to malfunction. It's going to crash, which is what's happening with us. We're not meant to consume animal protein. Mr. Disa just spoke about omnivores, herbivores, carnivores, and frugivores. Humans are frugivores. Let me explain how. We sweat, don't we? Well, omnivores don't sweat. They put their tongue out because they do not have well-developed sweat glands. So they basically kind of sweat through their tongues, and we sweat from our skin. This is a factor that is only found in herbivores and frugivorous animals. And we can all move on jaws like this, right? Omnivores and carnivores cannot. They just cannot. So because they do not chew their food extensively, while herbivores and frugivores, and us for that matter, require, we chew our food extensively. Our saliva has carbohydrate digesting enzymes. Omnivores and carnivores do not have carbohydrate digesting enzymes in their saliva. A lot more factors. This is in a report called the Comparative Anatomy of Eating by Dr. Milton R. Mills. So you can actually Google that because it has a lot of comparative features of every part of a body, and he relates them to omnivores, herbivores, and carnivores. Cancer. So cancer is one of, I just spoke about the Cancer Project, right? So food contributes a lot to what actually happens in our bodies, and cancer is one of them. Actually, it has been shown that animal products increase your risk of cancer by 3 times and increase your risk of heart disease by 90%. And a lot more. So I know this organization called Sharan that basically reverses your diabetes and other diseases in 21 days. That's what I think Mr. Disa was talking about. So what they do is, they're a vegan organization. They promote veganism in their diets for that matter, and well, what they do is they kind of reduce your disease to such a level you don't need any medication, so they completely eliminate it. And a lot more diseases are caused by consuming animal products. There's an important statistic coming up. 1 glass of milk is unhealthier than a cigarette. This is a stat by Cornell University. So, well, cigarettes are bad, right? Come on, like 1 glass of milk is unhealthier, and a lot more factors. I read this joke. Cigarettes help you lose weight 1 lung at a time. Well, a glass of milk is a lot more dangerous. And this is stat by Cornell University, a very famous university, and they took a lot of this into account. So another is osteoporosis.
What's the proof? What's the proof of this?
Cornell University, you can probably look up there.
All statistics here. In what way the milk going to give you cancer? Come on.
I shall answer questions at the end.
All patients are given eggs and milk in the hospital. It's part of the diet. Other hospitals are not.
Yeah, which is what I'm telling is natural, because we are frugivores in the first place. Let me answer questions at the end because I believe we are running short of time. So yeah, this is a statistic. I don't make things up. You can probably look up their research papers online. So yeah, do you think it's natural? Does it even look natural? See, cows are meant to drink cow's milk, and this is exactly what we are doing, although there's a process in between. So what we effectively are doing is this. So yeah, I am just going to show a small video on how the animals are raised for animal products. It is pretty graphic, though it will open a lot of eyes here, so I must ask you to watch this carefully. It's not playing.
Are informed.
injured birds. Next few minutes, you will be given an eye-opening look behind the closed doors of modern farms, hatcheries, and slaughter plants, revealing the journey that animals make from farm to fridge. Crowded by the thousands into filthy sheds, chickens and turkeys are denied many of their most basic natural behaviors and needs, such as fresh air and exercise. Sick or injured birds often have their necks broken. Others are clubbed to death. At the slaughter plant, the birds are dumped from their crates, then roughly snapped upside down into moving shackles by their fragile legs. From there, the birds are dragged through an electrified vat of water, which renders them paralyzed, but not necessarily unconscious. They are then pulled across a blade, which slices their throats, causing blood to pour from their necks. The egg industry subjects chicks to horrors few of us can even imagine. Because male chicks don't lay eggs and do not grow quickly enough to be raised profitably for meat, they are killed within hours after hatching. Male chicks are typically thrown into giant grinding machines while still alive. Another killing method is to drop male chicks into trash bags to be smothered or suffocated. The females have it even worse, destined for a life of prolonged cruelty. To reduce packing induced by overcrowded living conditions, workers use a hot blade or laser to remove part of the chick's beaks. This mutilation can cause both acute and chronic pain. After debeaking, the birds are moved to cages where they will spend the rest of their lives. Nearly 95% of egg-laying hens spend their lives confined in tiny wire cages like this. The majority of today's dairy cows are confined on factory farms. Workers subject young cows to painful mutilations and amputations. Here, a worker cuts off a cow's tail, slicing through her sensitive skin, nerves, and bone without any painkillers. Injuries and illness often run rampant in filthy, disease-ridden factory farm environments. Cows too sick or injured to stand are called downers and are often left to slowly suffer and die from their injuries. Calves on dairy farms are dragged away from their mothers and violently killed, all so that humans can have the milk instead. At a fraction of their natural lifespan, the so-called spent dairy cows are prodded under transport trucks and shipped to slaughterhouses. Unreliable stunning practices at the slaughterhouse condemn many cattle to having their throats cut and their limbs hacked off while still alive and conscious. For nearly their entire 4-month pregnancies, mother sows are locked in narrow metal stalls barely larger than their own bodies. Soon after birth, piglets are castrated by workers who cut into their skin and rip out their testicles. Next, the workers chop off their tails. Both of these painful procedures are nearly always done without anesthesia. Piglets who become sick or injured or who are not growing quickly enough are killed. Common killing methods include being slammed head first into the ground. Once pigs have reached market weight, they are sent to slaughter. At the slaughterhouse, pigs are knocked in the head with a steel rod, hung upside down, and have their throats slit. Improper stunning condemns many pigs to having their throats slit while they are fully conscious and suffering. If you are at all moved by this film, please do your part. Make a commitment today to explore a vegan diet. For delicious vegan recipes, nutritional information, and tips on making the transition to a plant-based diet, please visit Choose Veg.
That is inhumane. That is barbaric. That is not what we expect of ourselves when we call ourselves human beings. Every time I see this video, my blood boils. You know why? Because animals are my friends and I don't like them being hurt. I do not like them being killed. And for the simple reason that this is the wrong thing to do, I am vegan. So it's not about my health, it's not about the environment, it's about the animals for me. Veganism is the minimum standard of decency that I choose to draw upon myself. And I believe that every one of you now believes that this is inhumane to the greatest level possible. We all expect we slaughter houses, house of slaughter. It's pretty well known. So no matter how well the slaughterhouse is hidden, the amount of cruelty that it emanates is large, and it is leaking in my face right now. I'm going to ask you to consider eliminating animal products from your diet simply because this is wrong, and also the animal, the environment and health factors is an added bonus. You benefit, you heal the world. You heal the world of violence, you heal the environment of the destruction it is being put to, and we heal our bodies of the damage that we are putting it through. Next one. There are millions of delicious recipes and alternatives. Like for milk, you can have soy milk, there is rice milk, hemp milk. For curds, there are peanut curds, cashew curds, and there's coconut milk, and there's cheese, there's cashew cheese, there's soy cheese. And for paneer, maybe you can have tofu. There are lots of alternatives. You can probably contact me, and I will let you know all of them. Next one. So what my friends think I eat this grass, it's not that way. There are plenty of things that I eat. So yeah, this is the healthy part of stuff that Mr. Disaza was talking about. There's a very junk food if someone wants it. So yeah, animals, earth and us is what veganism heals. And today I'm going to ask you to make a conscious choice to be the instrument of positive change for the planet. And let's make the connection. A calf is the same to the cow as a baby is to her mother. Thank you very much for listening. How much time is left? 2 questions.
Just have to know plant is living or non-living.
Plant is a living creature, definitely, because they grow. What we are discussing here is sentience. Plants do not have sentience. And this is a well-known fact. This is first grade science actually. Plants don't feel pain. Now, why would plants need to feel pain? Why do we feel pain? So that we can move away from the object that is causing us pain.
Plant cannot cry, plant cannot have blood, so that you can have plant. But animal can cry, can have blood, so that you have, animal who cannot have
That's called sentience.
No, it's not a plant, no? You talk about animal, then it is not a film of your mother.
Okay, so the fact that I do not take milk is because it is unethical. Having your mother's milk is a necessity. Everyone agrees on this, right? So if you do not drink your mother's milk, it's going to be a harmful factor for you and your mother. But you're killing the calf so that you can have the cow's milk instead, and that is bad. So let the calf drink her mother's milk. It's what she's supposed to do. Right? And it's the natural law of nature. I do not consider it unethical if a human drinks his or her mother's milk because it's meant for the child. Cow's milk is not meant for us, and the violence in which we take it is very bad. The last question.
Just wanted to answer that most fruits and vegetables are grown on the plant. We don't need to kill the plant for it, right? There are very few like wheat and rice where we take away the whole harvest. But even if we didn't have to take away the whole harvest, that same crop dies on its own. In a cycle, it dies on its own. So
Adding on to that, actually, the amount of plants you kill is a lot more when you're on a non-vegan diet because of the environmental destruction, the habitat loss and everything. So you actually kill a lot more plants than you would if you were vegan. So we are frugivores, right? We're just consuming what we are meant to consume. And there's nothing wrong with that because we do not cause unnecessary pain. Because plants do not feel pain. Yes,
Last one thing. Is a dog carnivorous?
Okay, a dog is omnivorous, that's what I read.
But he's supposed to be eating meat.
Yes, I do not have a problem with that.
Why do we have a canine teeth?
Herbivores have canines, goats have canines, cows have canines. Canines is a part of like a lot of being structures for a lot of beings, even herbivorous animals. The canines for omnivores and carnivorous animals are a lot more. So what we do is for mainly crushing fruit and stuff, which a lot of herbivorous animals do have. And I do not have any ethical problem with a lion killing a goat simply because it's what the lion is meant to do. It is not meant for humans to kill animals, and we call ourselves civilized, we call ourselves humane, and that is a label which we are using to kill animals, and that is something I have a moral problem with.
And secondly, why is our digestive tract so long if we are not meant to eat meat?
Oh, it is actually characteristic of herbivores that they have long digestive tracts, and our herbivorous tracts are 10 to 12 times our body length, while that of carnivores and omnivores animals is 5 to 6 times our body length. So thank you very much for listening.